Sometimes you'll stumble across the most beautiful sugar sand landscape you've ever seen. This is like almost a winter wonderland, but it's all just sugar sand. It's pretty cool when you find all this sugar sand like this. It's just super fine. Use it to help you filter water, clean your dishes. Use it for a multitude of things. When you find these patches of sugar sand that looks like snow, you have to make yourself a sand angel. It's a little different when you're walking around on steep terrain in Florida. You usually got this nice sand to just guide your way down. It just gives. Still got to be careful. But you can see this is it's a fairly steep dune right here. These are all dunes. You just take this fine white sugar sand all the way down. When you're walking around out here in Florida, you may find a good variety of opuntia. This is one form of opuntia. There's prickly pear, just to give you an example. And all opuntias I know of are edible. The fruit that it grows, and these little plates here can be eaten. Plates aren't as good, but they can also be used on like bee stings and such. You just take this outer skin off, and it's kind of like aloe vera on the inside. Use it on sunburn, whatever. And that's opuntia. I don't remember if I ever pointed this out, but you can see there's a huge variety of old man's beard or Spanish moss. Okay, this is not usnea. Usnea has a stretchy band. This does not. Okay. You break this, it just breaks off, snaps. Okay. You can actually file these little tips down and eat them. I'm pretty sure I mentioned that in the video. But what you can use this for is bedding. Okay, but you need to smoke it first and get the chiggers out of it. If this has chiggers in it, you just gave yourself the worst bedding of your life. But you can see there's no shortage of it. It's hanging in every tree. These are all live oaks right here. And that Spanish moss can be quite a comfy bedding if you ever needed it. I mean, that's a good amount. See, this is all that right there. Spanish moss. It's actually quite comfy, squishy. It's not prickly or anything. Okay, you can see they left some scat here, but there's deer runs here. We come down this trail here, and you can see here's a juniper tree, and just like I mentioned in that video in Tennessee, deer really like cedar. Well, juniper is very similar to cedar, and look at, they just rubbed this thing all up. This is in North Florida. Here's our wax myrtle that I showed you in Florida, and what I'm going to be doing with this is getting some of those berries just to collect as a seasoning, and that's all. We'll use them down the road on some game. Alright, if you remember that yucca cordage video I showed you down here in Florida, and I was talking about saw palmetto. Well, right here is saw palmetto. Okay, here's those leaves. I'll compare that with the cabbage palm, and I'm going to take a few of these and we'll make some cordage with this. Alright, and if you remember, saw palmetto has these teeth that grow along here like that. Alright, so that's how you know it's saw palmetto, and the frond stops right here. On cabbage palm, it grows right up in here, so that's how you tell the difference. Okay, if you remember cabbage palm, I showed you. See how that frond kind of grows up into the leaf? That's one way of telling. It does not have the saw teeth on the frond. And what we're going to do is we're going to grab a green frond for cordage and these leaves here for cordage, just like I showed you with the yucca. And these dead fronds here, I showed you can make a bow drill fire with this. And I'm going to do a hand drill and a fire plow with this same frond that I used in Florida a while back. And I wanted to point something out. If them fronds are super dead and they're not hard like this one is, then it's not going to do you any good. It's just going to burn right through it. You need something that's going to be able to stay together for you enough, because they're already soft as it is. So we're going to go ahead and gather some of these materials here, and I'll show you what we'll do with that next.